It's time for the beginning of the end. Endwalker, that is. Hello, everyone. Today, we're finally going to start Endwalker. I've been, I was hyped up about playing Shadowbringers and starting it, and now I'm finally on Endwalker. It's like, I've been wanting to get to Endwalker for a long time for my crafting and gathering stuff, because I've been capped out on purple scripts for months now, because I maxed out all my crafters and gatherers. And on custom deliveries, you start getting purple scripts once you max out the crafter or gatherer, or if you turn in the custom delivery item for on a maxed out crafter or gatherer. So I have maxed out at least gatherer scripts. I think I have not gatherers, maxed out crafter scripts, but I also have maxed out. I think I have maxed out gatherer scripts. Either way, hopefully I don't have to completely finish the campaign before I can spend the purple scripts, but maybe I do. Either way, we're gonna start off by watching the trailer, and I haven't watched it yet. I don't know if I believe they play it on the title screen, so I've seen like the moon over and over and over and over since I started playing the game. And then I've also watched most of the benchmark, but I don't think that's the trailer. That being said, let me go ahead and pull up the browser. And let's go ahead and watch the trailer. Oh, I doubt the volume's gonna be good. Oh yeah, and I believe this song's called Footfalls. Now I'm curious how the heck we're gonna get to the moon, but then again, we have Alatican technology.
The final days were upon us. The fabric of the star had begun to fray, its land rent by tooth and claw.
The hell is his new outfit? The standing character is a paladin for this one. His outfit nodes laser guns.
Alize!
Are you alright?
I can look after myself, you know. And I've had enough of this rot. Come on!
As the chaos spread, the star seemed doomed to unravel.
What are those bullets sent? And the Stydian riding on what's her name?
There were those who stood in defiance of that fate.
Tiamat, that's her name.
It's come, creature. It's all or nothing.
Van Daniel. And inside one of the towers?
The stage is set, but will our heroes deign to play their part? You took your time. 'Tis as we feared. The respite afforded this land was but fleeting. The end draweth nigh.
Oh, this is gonna be Thavnir? Yeah. and Old Sharlayan. So I know we're going there first. Also, I believe I have seen this. I believe this is what they play in the benchmark. Which doesn't make any sense. Never mind, that doesn't make any sense. I swear I've seen this before. But I had no context. This is like before I started ARR.
I knew it. This star still has secrets to tell. Take care, my friend.
Ooh. Oh, this is gonna be. This would be good.
Keep its counsel while the world is lost to ruin.
It would. Come what may, we shall live on. We must.
Do as you must then, but we scions will fight until the heavens fall, until our last breath.
Oh, the Sharlayan spiral. In his scythe.
Past the far edge of fate. Green blades dark as light. Tolling the coming of the end.
Ooh, that looks good. All right. Fall 2021. A little bit behind. Anyway. Let's go ahead and get started. Need to start up the game. Give me a quick second. Go ahead and get started on Endwalker MSQ. So I know just because I glanced at the Endwalker MSQ list, quest list, at like we're immediately going to Old Sharlayan. It's gonna be great because I believe there's a script vendor there. I'm still curious. I know I've mentioned like I want to see what happens in the story, but I also want to start doing custom deliveries again, which I could have been doing them, but I didn't. I just always annoyed me that I had to click on a thing saying, you have too many of purple scripts. If you get this, you won't be rewarded for them. So I just stopped doing them. Which is kind of a stupid reason, but either way, we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and talk to the people around here first. I don't think we talked to any of them last time, so we'll go ahead and just talk to each of them, and then we'll talk to Elfinode and get started. Much and more have we discovered the Telephory's machinations since Thancred and I did return from Garlemald. Verily, their troops doth appear to have been tempered in much the same manner as those engaged in the construction of the towering edifice of the capital. When Arnvald tried to free the Amalja held in the tower, it triggered some sort of alarm, and the captives were killed instantly. Well, that's kind of bad. As such, we have no choice but to leave them in the clutches of the Telephory until a means of rescuing them has been found. In the meantime, the summonings of lunar primals will continue, just as we must rely on the Grand Company of Eorzea to put down such entities and prevent any further abductions, so too do they rely on us to come through with our investigation. I'm feeling the journey to Sharlayan is going to be quite the test of our nerves, in more ways than one. You'll miss this place while you're away, I just know it. But for now, the best thing you can do is to get plenty of rest while we wait to hear from Kryl. Whatever it is my father and the Forum are hiding, I'm determined to get to the bottom of it. Those who are brought within the close proximity of the towers are tempered into serving Garlemald, then forced to summon lunar primals with aether drawn from the land. But even having understood this, we are yet to uncover the Telephori which wish to achieve by all of this. Are the towers purely for strategic advantage, or do they serve some other purpose? Not only do the members of the Forum intend to adhere to their long-standing policy of non-intervention, they had a point of sending Master Fortunal, what was it again, Fortunal? I think that's about close to right, here to explicitly state the fact. Rather than simply refusing to involve themselves in our affairs, it would appear they are actively trying to prevent us from meddling in theirs. That does, of course, make Kryle's mission of securing our entry into the Sharlayan nigh on impossible, but I am confident that she will find a way regardless. After the end of the Dragon Song War, I spent many a moon roaming Kugane, Radzad Han, even Garlemald, but never Sharlayan. In all honesty, a nation populated entirely by bookish types like Alphanode is not a place that appeals to me. That surprises literally no one, Estinian. Anyway, let's go ahead and talk to Alphanode and get started. The next ship to sail. Alphanode is feeling the need to take stock. Brilliant. Do you have some time to talk? Stoic nod. I would like to gather everyone in Dawn's Respite and together assess the situation in which we find ourselves. Let us take stock of the facts, shall we? The crisis at hand began with the sudden appearance of ominous towers in a multitude of locations throughout the worlds. Okay, so this is to summarize the post-Shadowbringers MSQ, since it was a bit between 5.55 and Endwalker, I believe. We have since learned that said structures were brought into being by an organization known as the Telephori. I'm gonna start calling it like that. Not Telephori. Telephoroi? Sure. The Telephoroi's standard procedure is to recreate the final days of eons past, an apocalyptic event that would result in the destruction of all we hold dear. Already have these towers of theirs been the cause of untold suffering. Countless innocents captured and imprisoned, their faith preserved, perverted for primal summonings. And unless we find a way to deal with the corruptive aura surrounding the spires, we can't even get close enough to rescue anyone. Those shielded with the blessing of light seem able to resist being tempered, at least. But after what happened to Arenvald and Fordola, we need to be very, very careful about how we proceed. Yet, with these threats close to home, our paramount concern, we mustn't lose sight of the situation in Garlemald. As you know, the Telephori are under the leadership of Fandaniel and one other delightful fellow, Zenos Galvis, the Crown Prince and our dear friend. To date, he's reclaimed his own body, murdered Emperor Varys, and plunged Garlemald into an even deeper pit of chaos. The capital has probably seen the worst of it. For a good while there, it saw the bloodiest fighting in the War of Succession, but that has since changed, and in troubling ways. Aye, during our reconnaissance, the air was not once rent by the barking of cannons or cries of discord. 'Twas an eerie fog of silence which did blanket the ruined city. The inhabitants appeared to have been tempered, and with nary a word spoken did they labor to transform the palace into a soaring edifice born of nightmares. Oh, in the preview, Fandaniel was in Garlemald. That was actually the castle or whatever. If you were indeed made thralls, it seems safe to assume that these events, too, were orchestrated by the Telephory. An army of primals is awful enough, but in light of recent developments, I fear it is only the prelude to an even greater catastrophe. Oh, I don't doubt that. We need to devise a means to counter this threat, and quickly, before our allies are overwhelmed. We will find a way to Sharlayan, I'm sure of it. Master Fortunal's comments regarding the final days were curious, to say the least. The forum knows more than it's letting on. Sorry to interrupt. We've just received word from Mistress Cryle. She says that arrangements for your visit have been finalized. You're to head to Limsa and board the next ship bound for Sharlayan. And on arrival, present yourselves as associates of the students of Baldosian. Come to assist with the Order's restoration. The arrangements may be settled, but what of your thoughts? They must race at the prospect of returning home after so long. I am eager to see it, of course. We should set off at once. Then I'll accompany you to the docks. You need at least one person there to wave and cry and wish you a safe journey. True. Snowing on. Nope, the new quest accept music. Well then I guess we're heading over to Limsa. Is it gonna take us straight there? No. Okay. Is anyone still here? Nope, just lonely girl. Right, let's teleport to Limsa and get on to that ship. I thought I read something about there being like a 2-year gap between like Shadowbringers and Endwalker, but maybe they were referring to something else. Anyway, let's go talk to Tataru. Actually, first they'll talk to everyone else. Sea travel can be tedious, but I don't mind it. It is a rare experience for most Ishgardians. That's true, because they're up in their snow-covered mountain. I never thought the day would come when I would be sailing home again. It always seemed to be very far away. I shudder to think what manner of truth awaiteth us beyond the indigo deep. Still more do I dread the prospect of discussions long overdue. I know in 5.6.1 he means Mom Brady's parents. I don't know if he's referring to that or just like the fact that they're referring to, or that they're going back to Old Sharlayan. Anyway, we'll get to that eventually. Contrary to what you might think, this will be like going home for me as well. I may have learned how to live in Limsa, but it was in Sharlayan where I was taught, quite relentlessly, I might add, the skills to properly live. I might have lived in Master Batoya's cave for a good part of my life, but even for me, the thought of returning to Sharlayan is quite exciting. I can hardly imagine how it is for the others who lived most of their lives there. What a grim reason to bring you to Sharlayan. Not much to be done about it, I suppose, but I would have liked to give you the grand tour under happier circumstances. Though a part of me looks forward to returning home, I've not forgotten that father stripped us of the privileges of our family name. I hope it doesn't cause trouble with the officials upon arrival. I don't think it will. I mean, part of me wants to see their mom, like, like he doesn't, or like their father didn't say anything to her, and then they show up, and then they're gonna say that he disowned them, and then she's gonna be like, "You what?" Anyway, let's talk to Tataru and probably get a voice cutscene. Everyone's here, which is good because I've already paid for passage, and the fee is non-refundable. Of course, it's always money, it's Tataru. And, you know, Lalafels. The ship for Sharlayan should be pulling up in port soon, so please follow me and have all the luggage close at hand.
They've almost finished loading our cargo. We should be ready to depart right on schedule, or so I'm told.
Excellent. 'Tis nice to have a smooth beginning to one's journey, at the very least.
It's funny. Master Louis Soir came here on a ship very much like this one. And now, years later, the street urchin he befriended that day is bound for his mentor's homeland. With his mentor's grandchildren, no less.
Aye. 'Tis upon reflection that every twist of time's river and fate's whims are brought into sharp relief. Thou hast matured much in the intervening years. Wert thou not caught attempting to relieve Master Louis Soir of his purse scant moments after he made landfall upon this dock?
Oh, really? Now that's a tale I'd like to hear.
Will this be your first visit to Sharlayan, Sir Estinian? Sir Estinian?
Are we strangers newly met? Why this stiff formality?
I, merely meant it as a professional courtesy, since we are now colleagues in an official sense.
Oh, come on, Alphinaud. He already treats you like little brother.
I'd rather you dispense with the sirs, especially in private company,
Yeah, seriously.
or I'll be forced to respond in kind, little Lord Alphinaud.
You've made your point, Estinian. Painfully well.
Better.
Yeah, like the entirety of post Shadowbringers, he was just calling him Estinian.
Are you all right, Tataru? You seem positively distraught.
Distraught? Me? Don't be silly. I think it's lovely that they get to see their homeland.
She
It's
want to go
just-
too?
We're trying to thwart the schemes of an army hell-bent
okay.
on destroying the world.
She's just concerned.
And, once again, I have to stay behind and worry that this is the last time I'll get to see my friends.
Makes a good point. I'll bring you back safe and sound, I promise. No sense worrying about the things we're powerless to change. That's not very optimistic.
I'll hold you to that.
Ah, good. You're still here.
Now the Chad himself.
Hori! Coulternay! What brings you all this way?
We're to assist the Maelstrom and the Kobolds with a lunar primal operation, so we thought we'd see you off before heading to the tower. Flamine and the others wish you all a safe journey, and promise that they'll look after things here until you return. We will too, of course. Aye, We, your fellow Scions of the Seventh Dawn, will do our part to ensure the end of the world won't happen on our watch.
We set the sail! All aboard for Sharlayan!
It's time.
Then we must delay no longer. We will contact you the moment we learn aught of value. Wish us luck.
Have a safe journey, and please, please, be careful.
And so you venture forth unto the unknown.
Xenos?
A fate beyond the horizon that cannot be
No,
divined.
that's Emmett,
A
isn't it?
future undefined and in flux. In uncertain times, naught but the simplest words of wisdom will suffice. That which lives is destined to die. Love leads to loss. Every beginning has an end. Treasure every moment, every step of your descent.
Title? Nope, not yet.
And there, in the depths where souls and stars rest, find your truth.
Oh, time to consult the map. What is it, Stormblood? So one thing it occurred to me was that, do they just have ships regularly running from Limsa to Sharlayan? As they said, just catch the next ship to Sharlayan. Isn't Sharlayan supposed to be this closed off place that you can't, that's hard to get access to?
Here.
Oh.
Feel.
Live, laugh, love.
Think.
The day has barely dawned, my fellow earlier riser. Though we're hardly alone in that. Envious of those still sleeping soundly, no doubt.
I expected the twins to be a little bit closer there. As there
Called
was
out to you, you say? I've heard nothing myself.
it's like in Stormblood they had that scene where one of them was sleeping on the other's shoulders.
In any case,
Or something like
I
that.
dare say the sea air will do you good. Why not join the others on deck? Sharlayan should be coming into view at any moment.
Ah, there we go. Here she is again. Saw her at the end of 5.55.
My voice yet reaches you. I am glad. Hear, feel, think. And thus do we meet face to face at last. My warrior of light, guided by the crystal.
Yeah, why now? Although, can we really trust her?
After your sojourn in the First, I believe you have your answer. You have gained an understanding of what I truly am, what Hydaelyn has always been, a primal. Zodiac was created to forestall the apocalypse which threatened the ancient world, and I was brought forth to bind him. Yet 7 times now, those who would orchestrate a return to that bygone era have rejoined a shard to the god I had sundered. The greater his strength grows, the swifter does mine own diminish. The power to draw your mind into the rift betwixt is no longer mine to wield. Yet though it taxes me sorely, I dare not leave these words unsaid. Even bereft of my guidance, you and your companions have accepted the burden of this star's troubled past. A conjunction has begun to form, an intertwining of your time and mine. Wheels shudder and turn. Conflict looms, monumental, which will decide the fate of this world and all life upon it. When you truly understand what is at stake, and your journey has prepared you to surmount the insurmountable.
Isn't that what we always do?
Then shall I honor the promise made in another time, another age.
Cast your peepers to the fore, folks. Sharlayan's just over yonder.
Bruh. I'm talking to a god here. Could you shut up?
I will not keep you further. Your traveler's heart must yearn to behold this unfamiliar land. We shall meet again, and soon.
I'll time to go back to downstairs and say, hey, I talked to Hydaelyn.
Oh, what a fine morning. Oh, still a bit stiff though.
And a good morning to you too. Taking a look at the island already?
No, I was taking a look at some
Then let's go. Let's go.
more
Might still be
interesting.
room in the prow if we're lucky.
Ah, the sleepers have arisen. There she is. Good old Sharlayan.
Oh, I see it.
Home. Home at last. Well, maybe not in Father's eyes, but we'll manage on our own, if we must.
You do know you're not alone in this, don't you?
Estinian saying that.
Indeed. 'Tis as Sir Estinian said. Forget not the comrades who boarded this ship at your side, I prithee.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking that too, to be honest. It's like, hey, I'm right here, dude.
Thank you, my friends. We are ever grateful for your steadfast support.
Upon arrival, we will be disembarking into the heart of Sharlayan proper. There is no greater concentration of wisdom in all the world. I am confident that somewhere within that center of knowledge and learning, we will find the answers we seek.
I believe Endwalker has like a ton of cutscenes, which I don't really mind. There's the title. I mean, I'm here for a good story.
Sharlayan, the solitary island nation of the northern seas. Where under the watchful gaze of Thaliak, patron deity of scholars,
I think that's my deity, by the way.
All manner of knowledge and secrets.
I think that's the one I picked.
Once, they deigned to accept foreign students into a distant colony maintained in the Dravanian hinterlands.
Yep.
How swiftly they abandoned it once the first Garlean boot set hostile foot on Ala Megan soil.
Yeah, that was Ildshire.
So averse to the prosecution of war, these men of wisdom, your would-be allies.
Northern Empty, Old Sharlayan. I do like how it looks.
I thought they'd never let us off the ship. What's next then? Entry applications?
Hopefully they find no cause to deny us.
Hasn't Sharlayan all but severed relations with foreign powers? Those of us without direct ties, myself included, may be refused outright.
'Tis true that, as a nation, Sharlayan only forms trade agreements with a select few neutral countries. But from a practical standpoint, an island cannot afford to be overly strict with its borders. Especially not if that island's people are wholly devoted to the accumulation of knowledge. If one submits the proper paperwork, with satisfactory evidence of identity and intent, then foreigners may be granted entry.
May.
Quite. So let us be absolutely clear on these points before we proceed. The immigration officer will ask for your affiliation and your purpose of visit. Considering Sharlayan's views on intervention, I strongly suggest we avoid any mention of the Scions. Kral has laid the groundwork for us to act as associates of the students of Baldessian, and our ostensible reason for being here is to aid in their order's restoration.
That makes sense that she was a student. Is a student of Baldessian? Also, I did start Eureka, so I have a little bit of that story.
It might expedite our progress should an actual student be seen at the head of our little group. Would you mind leading the way?
Of course. The immigration officers were this way, as I recall. Shall we? Greetings. We've just arrived and are eager to make our way into the city. Would you be so kind as to process our entry applications?
Certainly. I see by your mark you are an Archon.
I am. Grahat here of the Students of Baldesion at your service. I was assigned to an Eorzean survey team, but have returned to assist with the reformation of my order. My associates here will provide additional support.
Uh-oh.
Very good. I have paperwork detailing your group and its scheduled arrival for today. And it seems some few of your companions are also Archons. If you'll step forward, we can process those applications first.
Yeah, Thancred and Ishtola are Archons. And Urianger, of course.
Ishtola rule.
See how it glows? That list is etherically linked with the citizen registry kept in the main repository.
That's gonna be a problem if they have to state their names.
I've confirmed your status as Archons and amended your travel records accordingly. Welcome home. Now, who do we have here?
How is this gonna work out?
Alphino Leveilleur.
And Alizé Leveilleur.
Like, did he actually have, like, the archives altered?
Your applications have also been approved.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Having said that,
Okay.
the streets are abuzz with talk of how House Leveilleur's lord disowned his young progeny. And while such personal circumstances constitute no reason to deny you entry, I urge you to avoid exacerbating your present situation. Times are quite troubled enough already.
Gee, thanks. Kieran. Wait, you're a
We shall
Lullafell.
keep that in mind.
She's a Lullafell. Gotta have a, like, bouncy name.
These last two are not Sharlayan natives, but you will find their credentials are in order. An application was made in advance.
Name and occupation?
Hero of this world. Adventurer by trade, artisan. Yeah, no, don't do that. Adventurer or artisan? I'll say artisan. Adventurer probably make more sense, but it doesn't really matter.
Indeed. Your profile describes you as an adventurer, but one also trained in the rather more constructive pursuits of procurement.
I wonder if you can only do that if you have
You
a
may.
maxed out crafter or gatherer.
And you, sir?
Estinian Valino, formerly of the Order of the Knights Dragoon in Ishgard.
Formally, at least. And what, pray tell, is your profession now?
Mercenary? Oh good, Crowd's gonna come save us.
If you'll allow me... My associate is a mercenary,
Yeah.
hired for his strength at arms. Surely you are aware of the dangers we often face on our forays into the wilderness.
Yeah, I was gonna go with mercenary.
Mistress Baldesion, if you insist on sponsoring his entry, then so be it. But while I appreciate that desperate times call for desperate measures, I find your choice of company concerning. Be advised that even a single misstep may have severe repercussions for your organization.
Man, these people are stuffy.
I have every confidence in my chosen company, dear and trusted comrades that they are. But I thank you for your concern.
Croyle, it is good to see you.
Likewise. Long voyage notwithstanding, you all seem none the worse for wear. There is much to discuss, but this is hardly the place. Let's be on our way, shall we? Oh! Welcome, friends, to Sharlayan.
As your mercenary, I should hope my welcome includes a generous salary.
Stydian.
Well, I had to say something, Sir Taciturn.
He's not exactly doesn't exactly have a job title right now. I am unaccustomed to fabricating lies on demand. Why should it matter how I earn my living? Here we are at last. The great welcome Shitty Walk. Here we are at last. The great city of Sharlayan. You may have noticed some similarities to the Crystarium, yes? In fact, oh, but we were... we should let Cry have her say first. Okay, sure. We can continue this conversation at another time. You are doubtless eager to take in the sights. Not to worry, Brillian. The city is not like to vanish before we finish our discussion. That's probably what you said about the, about Batdozia. Or whatever. Even allowing that the years I spent in the first passed here in a blink of an eye, the city feels untouched by time. Allow me to extend unto thee my warmest welcome, Brillian. May the wisdom of my homeland aid us in our endeavors. I'm fine, honestly. Better to be waved through with a stern warning than be denied entry at all. It was about as awkward as I expected. Still, we're here now, and that's all that matters. I'm glad I spotted your ship coming into port. The officers are born bureaucrats and sticklers for detail. In any case, you may relax and take a moment to get your land legs back. Let's see, this is going to be 5:15. Okay, so that doesn't matter. Old Sharlayan, new to you. Quarrel sweeps the Scions with a speculative look. I had thought to launch directly into an explanation of what I've learned and how we might proceed. But this is Brillian and Stydian's first time in Sharlayan, and for the rest of you, a homecoming that was long overdue. You must have places you wish to visit, and people you're dying to see. Therefore, I propose we postpone our agenda so that you all may have sufficient time to recover from your journey and get your bearings in the city. Once you've settled in, we can reconvene at the Baldosian Annex. How does that sound? Just a fine suggestion. We may not be welcome at the Livior estate as such, but I should like to nose around the neighborhood all the same. I am equally untethered, as it were. There is no particular place that my kin call home. Still, I would not pass up the opportunity to reacquaint myself with the city. Likewise, a quick tour of my old haunts might even yield some useful gossip. The annex was west of the Aetherite Plaza, wasn't it? I shall join you there anon. Yes, we'll see you there. I, too, have places I would be remiss in not visiting forthwith. By thy leave. What of you, Estinian? My services as a guide are yours for the asking. That won't be necessary. Until we reconvene, I prefer to wander as the wind takes me. Very, very Estinian. But I could... Oh. Well, Raha, would you like to join us then? You've been gone for quite a while, and this would be a perfect way to refresh those dusty old memories of yours. Yeah, because technically, it's been like over 100 years since his mind has been here. Oh, of course, if you will have me. Come, Brilliant, Sharlayan awaits. I got so used to the Shadowbringer's quest, except that I'm like, the Endwalker one's throwing me off. Oh dear, his enthusiasm is infectious, isn't it? After you, my friend. I am more than content to follow your lead. Grohatia is now accompanying you. Keep him at your side in order to proceed with several quest objectives. In the event that you use the Aethernet, Grohatia will catch up to you as long as you remain in the same area. You can leave Grohatia behind, however. Why would I ever do that? You can leave Grohatia behind, however, by entering a different area. You may also speak with him and select the option to part ways. If you wish Grohatia to accompany you again, return to speak with him in the original location. While Grohatia is accompanying you, you may next try speaking with Cryo. Why would I ever want Grohatia to leave me? All set? Then let's be on our way. Our first stop, amusingly though enough, will be the last stand. It's a cafe on the west side of the harbor. Right. Oh, okay, they added these in Endwalker. Okay. Because the first holiday event I did was after Endwalker came out, and they included these sometimes. Kryle is now accompanying you. Lead the way to your two companions, the last stand, and speak to Kryle at the designated location. Later accompanying may encounter conversation points and layout. Same thing as usual. Alright. Let's see. Leave maid, hunt vendor. Let me go ahead and grab this Aethernet shard first.